Again, we are here to study about the acids, bases, and salts. In the previous video, we have studied about the acids, and now in this video, we will study about the bases and salts. So, before starting that, I want to tell you that acids we have studied, so we have to revise that where the acids are found. Okay, so quickly we will revise the previous thing that these are the pictures of the different things in which the acids are found. Okay, some citrus fruit, they are sour in taste, curd also, vinegar, and these citrus fruits in tomato, in unripe mangoes, we are finding the acids in them because of that acids their taste is sour. Okay, so now next we will see that key what is acid rain. Okay, we have already discussed about that, but let's quickly revise this topic, acid rain. So the rain which contains a higher level of acids than normal is called acid rain. Acid rain is caused by the acidic gases like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and carbon dioxide, which are released into the air as pollutant. Clear? During the burning of various types of fuels. So, when these fuels are burned, these harmful gases are released into the atmosphere, and that is why whenever there is a rain, these gases combine with the rain, and these gases form acids, and that acid comes along with the rain, and that rain which has higher level of acid, that is called acid rain. Okay, right? Sulfur dioxide gas dissolves in falling raindrops to form sulfuric acid. Nitrogen dioxide gas dissolves in raindrops to form nitric acid, whereas the carbon dioxide gas dissolves in raindrop to form carbonic acid. So now it is clear to you, sulfuric acid is formed by the sulfur dioxide when it reacts with water, your raindrops. Okay, and nitrogen dioxide forms nitric acid, and carbon dioxide forms carbonic acid. So now it is clear that these gases form acids, and these acids are coming as a rain, and that rain is called acid rain. Now the presence of sulfuric acid, nitric acid, and carbonic acid in rainwater makes the rainwater acidic. Rain this acidic rain causes damage to aquatic animals like fish, trees, crop plants, metal structures, and stone building and monuments. So now we will study that what are the harmful effects of this acid rain. Acid rain makes the water of lakes, ponds, and rivers too acidic, due to which fish and other aquatic animals get killed. The next is means they cannot survive in that acidic medium. Okay. Now acid rain eats up the level of the leaves of the trees gradually. Okay. By losing leaves, the trees die. Acid rain also damages crop plants in the field. No one likes more acids. So that is why these acid rain causes these harmful effects. Acid rain also damages the metal structure like steel bridges, etc. when it falls on them. It eats up metals also because acid is present, and we know that sulfuric acid and nitric acid both are very strong acids. Acid rain damages the surfaces of buildings and monuments made of stone. Okay, right? So we have seen that many harmful effects we can see because of this acid rain. So that is why we should reduce the amount of sulfur dioxide and the nitric oxide and the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Otherwise, these acid rain will destroy many of the structures. Now, the next, where we found these acids. So quickly we will say that hydrochloric acid, that is present in your stomach. Okay, sulfuric acid, that is present in the car batteries, and nitric acid, they are used in the formation of explosives, and acetic acid is the component, that is vinegar, we are having it at our home. and carbonic acid that is found in the aerated drink like your sodas, phosphoric acid flavoring common acids. Okay, now the formic acid, it is present in the ant sting, and citric acid in the citrus fruit like the lemons and the oranges, lactic acid that is found in the curd or the sour milk, we can say that, oxalic acid that is found in the spinach, ascorbic acid that is found in the amla and again the citrus fruits, and the tartaric acid that is found in the tamarind, grapes, unripe mangoes, etc. So now we have seen a few examples where we can find these acids. Okay, now next we will move towards the base. Okay, so base, bitter to taste. What are the properties of the bases? They are bitter to taste, soapy to touch, and they are water soluble. So there is a category of the bases. If they are soluble in water, they are called alkalis. So all alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkalis. Why? Because all bases cannot dissolve in water. So those who are dissolving in water, those who are soluble in water, they are called alkalis. Okay, and rest of the substances will be called as a base because they are having the property of base, but they don't have the property of alkali. That means they are not soluble in water. Now, what is the next property of the base? Turns red litmus blue. Always remember, bases turn red litmus blue and acids turn blue litmus red. Now the pH. pH is also indicator that indicates the solution is acidic or base. So we have the number of the pH for the bases greater than 7. Okay, so now we can say that bases are having the number that is more than 7 in the pH scale. There is a pH scale. Now the next is example of base. Example of bases are detergent, baking soda, drain cleaner, antacid bases, ammonia soap, lime water, milk of magnesia. These all are the examples of bases. These all are the bases. Now the next we can see where the bases are found. So bases, like you can see the hydroxide is written in all the names. So sodium hydroxide we can see in soaps and drain cleaner. Magnesium hydroxide we can see in antacid, and aluminium hydroxide is also present in some antacids and the deodorants also. Calcium hydroxide is present in lime water. Ammonium hydroxide is in window cleaner, and magnesium hydroxide again is one of the major component of the milk of magnesia, and this is not a very strong base. This is a mild base and weak base, so we are using it in the milk of magnesia, and this we are using when we have the problem of acidity. Now ammonium hydroxide, this is the ammonia common base. Okay, so this is the common base having ammonia in it. Now uses of acids and bases. I have mentioned some uses of acids and bases here. Like we are using the citric acid in the food preservation, we are using the carbonic acid in the aerated drink, and we are using the tartaric acid in baking soda. Now you will be surprised that ma'am, you told me that baking soda is basic in nature, and it is basically the sodium hydrogen carbonate. But let me tell you one thing, that tartaric acid is present in the baking powder, and it reacts with sodium hydrogen carbonate, that is sodium bicarbonate, to release carbon dioxide. And whenever we are using this baking powder in our dough of the in our batter of the cake, or in any dough, if you are making any food, any kind of food, so why this food is fluffy and why this food is so light and spongy? Because of this tartaric acid. Clear? So this tartaric acid is reacting with sodium bicarbonate, and then after this reaction, in this reaction, carbon dioxide gas is released, and that carbon dioxide gas is coming out from that, and that makes the dough light and spongy. Now we are using the acetic acid like vinegar in our cooking, and sodium hydroxide is one of the major component of the soaps. So we are using in the manufacture of soaps. And calcium hydroxide we are using in the bleaching powder, and aluminium hydroxide we are using for making the foaming agent in fire extinguishers. Okay, so now you have understood the uses of some uses of acid. There are many more uses of the acids and bases. Some we are discussing here. Now, the neutral substance. We have studied the acid, we have studied the base, and now what about the neutral substance? What about the salt? So those now you can see that those substances which are neither acidic nor basic in nature, they are called neutral substances. So being neither acidic or basic, neutral substances do not change the color of any indicator. Clear? So now we will study about that more. But first of all, we have used the word indicator here. So we should know that what you mean by that indicator. So these are the special type of substances which are used to test whether a substance is acidic or basic. These substances are known as indicators. Okay. So now we already have studied that indicators are used to identify the acidic and the basic nature of the solution, and these indicators, how they are telling to you that the substance is acidic or basic, they are changing their color in that solution. Okay, so when we are adding these indicators in the solution, they change the color of the solution. Now, what are the how many indicators we have? We have turmeric, litmus, China rose petals, beetroot. These are the common examples that we are using as an indicator, and these are the natural indicator. And some indicators, some chemicals we are using as an indicator in our laboratory, that is the phenolphthalein and methyl orange. Phenolphthalein, basically it is a white color liquid. It is a white powder that we are making the solution, and we are using it in basically in the titration, and in which when it is mixed with the base, it makes the solution pink. Okay, now the methyl orange. Methyl orange is also one of the indicator that is showing the red color. Okay, so now when we are using it with the acidic solution or basic solution, it is giving the different color. So now the next we can say that natural indicators around us. So we have to study about the natural indicators. First, we can say litmus. It is a natural dye, the most commonly used natural indicator, and it is extracted from lichens. It is a plant. Okay, so it has a mauve, that is a purple color, and we are using this mauve in a distilled water. Okay, so when added to an acidic solution, it turns red, and when added to a basic solution, it turns blue. So it is available in the form of solution or in the form of strips of paper. So that paper is known as litmus paper, and the solution is known as litmus solution. Generally, it is available as red and blue litmus paper. Now, next we have to see one activity that you have to perform. What you will do, you will add some water in the lemon juice. You will make the lemon juice dilute. Okay, so dilute solution of that lemon juice, and you will put a drop of this solution on a strip of red litmus paper with the help of dropper. If there is any change in color, you will repeat the same exercise with the blue litmus paper, and you will also see the change in color with that blue litmus paper. If there is any changes in both the cases, you will note it down in the table given to the next slide. And you can use different solutions that is given here. You can use tap water, detergent solution. You can use anything if you want to know that this solution is acidic or basic. But remember one thing, you have to use a solution. You will not use any powder. Okay, because in the dry state, in the solid state, it will not give test. So you have to use solution of that. So whenever you are using this solution, you will observe your your records in this table. Serial number and how many test solution you are taking, you will write here, and you will write the effect of this solution on the red litmus paper and the blue litmus paper, and then you will write the result. According to the change in color of the indicator, you will write the result that the solution is acidic or basic. Now, next we will study the neutralization reaction. What is neutralization reaction? Why we are studying this neutralization reaction? Because the salt is formed after this reaction. So the products formed on mixing an acid and a base are salt and water. That is why we are studying this neutralization reaction. The reaction in which an acid reacts with a base to form salt and water is called neutralization reaction. Why we are using this term neutralize? Because in this reaction, acids and base both are cancelling each other's effect. That is why they're making a neutral substance which is neither acidic nor basic. That is why we can say that it is a neutral substance. Salt is neutral and this reaction is called neutralization. Now, we can represent this neutralization reaction in a form of equation. Here I have mentioned acid plus base means acid, and whenever we are writing this in the left hand side, this is called reactant. They are reacting and this arrow shows what they are giving to us. Okay, and what they are giving the product salt and water. Why we are using this plus sign? Because we are getting two products. Okay, so acid and what we will study this plus and acid and base gives what we will say this arrow gives salt and water. So acid and base reacts and they form salt and water. This process is known as neutralization reaction. And in this reaction, some heat is always evolved, means produced. Okay, okay. So in a neutralization reaction, this heat rises the temperature. Sorry, this heat raises the temperature of reaction mixture due to which the reaction mixture becomes hot. Because whenever this reaction is taking place, the heat evolved. Okay, temperature rises. So this heat raises the temperature of reaction mixture in the beaker and due to which the beaker becomes hot because of this produced heat during the reaction. Now, in a neutralization reaction, two new substances like salt and water are formed. The salt formed during a neutralization reaction depends on which acid and which base are reacted with each other. Like if you're talking about the sodium hydroxide and HCl, both are strong base and a strong acid. So if they are reacting with each other, then they will form sodium chloride and water. What is sodium chloride? NaCl. That is the common salt, common table salt that we are using at our home. The salt formed in this reaction is sodium chloride. This is the common salt. Okay, and some heat is also evolved during this neutralization reaction that makes the beaker hot, that makes the reaction very important because we are observing some heat. We cannot see that, we can feel it. Whenever we are going to touch the beaker, we will feel the hotness, and because of that reaction is taking place in the beaker, that is why the beaker becomes hot. So this is the neutralization reaction, and in the next video we will study about the neutralization in our daily life. Okay, so thank you for watching.